hypertension call to action yesterday, trying to remind people that, hey, while we've lost 200,000 lives due to COVID, we're going to lose 500 to 600,000 people this year due to uncontrolled high blood pressure. It really is an epidemic in this country of greater proportions than even COVID-19. And we actually have good medications and treatments for high blood pressure. So
you do bring up a very, very valid point. A lot of all our attention is focused on COVID-19 lately, but we forget other things, other ailments, other conditions throughout the country affect people on a daily basis. And
exactly.
It's good to hear that we're not forgetting that, but we kind of as a society have forgotten that.
Well, and we can't afford to forget that. COVID, unfortunately, is the third leading cause of death in the United States, but that means we still have a number one and a number two. Number two is cancer, and my wife right now is undergoing treatment for metastatic melanoma, and she had delayed her care because of COVID-19. I released a high blood pressure or hypertension call to action yesterday, highlighting that 500 to 600,000 people die every year due to cardiovascular disease, and we have pills. We have treatments. It's completely preventable, but I want people to understand it's safe to go in and see your healthcare provider, and it's important that you see your healthcare provider. And you can even do it by telehealth. There are so many different ways for you to get care, but we don't want you to be so worried and afraid of COVID that you let something else come and unfortunately affect you and your family.
Okay, real quick, what's number one?
Number one is cardiovascular disease.
Okay. The latest report from the White House Coronavirus Task Force, which you've probably seen, and it does highlight concerns for both our viewers in Idaho and Wyoming, because we do cover a portion of Wyoming. And just a quick review here, Idaho, red zone, number of cases for both the new cases and test positivity, okay? Idaho right now is 8th in the nation for new cases. Last week, we were 12th, so there's an increase. This week, we are 3rd for test positivity. 3rd's really high. Last week, we were 4th. That's Idaho. Wyoming, red zone for new cases, 13th in the nation. Last week, 19th. So again, an increase. In the yellow zone for test positivity at 26th. Last week, in the green zone at 31st. So it does show the upward trend in those categories. This is obviously concerning to you and your agency, your department. Why?
Well, we're very concerned as we go into the winter. We know more people will be coming inside. We know that we're entering flu season, where you're going to have 35 million people based on averages over the last decade with fever, with runny nose, with cough, that have flu, and that can be confused with COVID. And it's very important that we understand we can get this virus under control with simple measures, what I call my 3 W's: wearing a mask, and I've got mine right here, washing your hands, and watching your distance. And it's great to see that you have your mask too. I want people to understand these can be a way to show your personality. They can be a fashion statement, but most of all, they're a way to help us reopen safely. It's not reopening versus health. We're not trying to close places down. We're trying to help you open places and keep them open by lowering disease spread. And right now, as you mentioned, Wyoming, Idaho, in the red, going in the wrong direction. We've got to do better so that you can keep the freedom that comes with having places open.
Okay, again, those 3 W's.
Wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. If we do these 3 things, and if you get your flu shot, then you can significantly lower your chance of ending up in the hospital, of spreading the virus, and you'll increase the chances more places in your community stay open.
Okay, excellent. I think that's probably your message and where I was going to go here, because the country, and again, we're focusing on Idaho and Wyoming, our viewers, you get a ton of mixed messages out there. There's so much information. In the beginning of the pandemic, it was masks don't work, it's a waste of time. This isn't serious, it's like the flu. As we progress through it, now we understand masks are helpful. It's more severe than the flu, and obviously the intensity with the number of deaths that we've had. With the mixed statement what you want the viewers of Idaho and Wyoming to know today.
I want the viewers of Idaho and Wyoming to know that we've learned so much about this virus in just the last 9-10 months. And we've tried to communicate that to people in a way that helps them protect themselves and their community. We need you to go to trusted resources, coronavirus.gov and coronavirus.idaho.gov. But understand the power to stop the spread of this virus lies with each and every one of us. Look at Arizona, that was worst in the country earlier this summer, now in the green. Look at New York, worst in the world, less than a 1% positivity rate for several weeks in a row. They did it without a vaccine. They did it with 3 simple measures: wearing a mask, washing your hands, and watching your distance. In Idaho and Wyoming, you can do it too.
You did bring up one thing that made me think of another question, and you might not know at this point because maybe we just don't know. Do you know the status on a vaccine, a safe vaccine, and the procedure and where we stand today?
I really want people to understand we're not asking you to take these measures forever. There is an end in sight. I talk with Tony Fauci, with Dr. Birx regularly. We still expect to have a safe and effective vaccine available by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And that will allow us to achieve herd immunity and really put this virus away for good. But what we need you to do right now is to lower spread of the virus until we can get to a vaccine in just a few months, so that we can lower loss of life, but also so that you can have places open and have some sense of normalcy while we await that vaccine.
Excellent. Very well done, said and succinct. I like that. Makes my job easier.
Well, I try. I've done this a couple of times, and I try to give you all good answers that you can cut or that you can play. But I just want to say thank you to you, because one of the things that has been a challenge has been communication, particularly in the midst of an impeachment trial, a presidential election, a social justice movement. And so thank you for the opportunity just to talk directly to the people.
I like that. I like where you're coming from there. That's very nice of you to say. And it's been my honor to talk to you. Wish you well in your duties, and we'll look for you in the future.
Hey, and whenever you want me back, just reach out. Again,
Okay.
We put out a hypertension call to action yesterday that we'd be happy to come back and talk about anytime. We're putting out a call to action on maternal health in a few weeks, which is particularly relevant to your tribal populations up there. We know that our Native American and tribal sisters have higher rates of maternal mortality and infant mortality. And we don't want people to forget there's a lot of things out there that can kill you besides COVID. So anytime you want me back, just reach out to my comms folks. Really happy to talk to you.
Okay, perfect. Real quick, I've found a very handsome, good-looking photo of you on Wikipedia. Are we allowed to use that?
Kate said she'll send you my official photo.
Okay.
It is probably even more handsome.
Well,
She'll send it to you right now.
That's definitely the one we want. I think it's probably the same one, but I'm glad Kate's there and she can send. I'll look for that.
Great, thank you. And hey, be safe, get your flu shot. And again, keep encouraging people to do these simple things that will help us get across the finish line and to really put this virus to bed.
Okay, we'll get it on. Thanks for your time.
Take care.
You take care too. Bye.